Cafe, and I'm here in East Anglia at Folk East right now, and you probably hear some music in the background. Catalina, who was in Argentina but is currently in Morocco.
Yes.
We are indeed the World Storytelling Cafe. We span the globe, and tonight is stories for children of all ages. From well, you're never too old for a story, and so without further ado, I am going to hand over to the amazing, the fantastic, the brilliant Catalina fagini.
Thank
Please put your hands together
you.
and welcome. The stage is yours, Catalina.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. I am very happy to be here and to be around so many children. This is fantastic. So I also wanna greet Adan, which is a friend who is also Argentinian, but he is living in Colombia. So we are all over Adan. And Adan doesn't speak English, so I will be telling a little bit in Spanish, a little bit in English. Is this okay?
It's okay.
Fantastic. Okay.
That is perfect.
Okay.
Para mí, todo
Spanish,
perfecto.
a little bit of English is just as it should be.
Okay, perfecto. So when I was thinking what stories to tell, I was thinking about the World Storytelling Cafe and things that we all have in common. And I thought about the sky as a link to us all, and something beautiful about the sky is that it always changes and it always the same. So I want to tell you some stories and share some stories about the sky. Voy a compartir unas historias sobre el cielo, que es algo que nos une a todos y que es maravilloso porque es siempre distinto y siempre igual. Esta historia trata de un águila. Un águila que se creía que era una gallina. An eagle that thought she was a chicken. She lived in a chicken house and she tried to be like all the other chickens, but she was not, of course. And this was very frustrating for her. A veces ella quería sumarse a todas las gallinas mientras cantaban, pero cuando se sumaba con su grito de águila, todas las gallinas la miraban así. All the chickens looked at her and they told her, "What are you doing? That's horrible. Go away." And she was feeling so lonely. And she realized that she was not like all the other chickens. She was much bigger. She had different type of feathers, different type of eyes, different type of beak. It was very difficult for her to eat the food of the chicken. And because of all these things, all the chicken were just leaving her aside. They were not including her and she just felt miserable. A veces caminaba por el gallinero y de pronto veía su reflejo en un charquito de agua y veía sus ojos penetrantes y profundos de águila, y lo único que veía era que no se parecía a una gallina. ¿Cuál es tu problema? Se decía, "What is wrong with you?" she would tell herself. So, this was the situation. One day, she was just sitting there when a man came, a mountaineer, un alpinista pasó por allí. Y los alpinistas son personas que están acostumbrados a ver águilas volando en la inmensidad del cielo en la montaña. The mountaineers are used to seeing eagles flying around in the sky up in the mountain. And when he saw the eagle there, he stopped dead, looked at her, and said, "What are you doing here? What is an eagle living as a chicken?" ¿Qué estás haciendo acá?, le dijo. ¿Qué hace un águila viviendo como una gallina? ¿Un águila? Yo no soy un águila, yo soy una gallina. ¿Qué estás diciendo? ¡No me ofendas!, dijo el águila. Pero ¿cómo vas a ser un águila? Mira, tienes ojos de águila, tienes plumas de águila, tienes mirada de águila, y estoy segura de que abajo de todas esas plumas hay un corazón de águila latiendo con fuerza esperando el momento de volar. Haven't you looked at yourself? You're clearly an eagle. No, volar. I am so afraid of heights. Don't tell me anything about volar, please. We'll see, he told her. Vamos a ver. Y el alpinista agarró al águila y la metió dentro de su saco. Cerró su saco. He put the eagle inside his bag. He closed his bag. He put the bag in his back. And he started climbing. And he climbed, and he climbed, and he climbed, and he was up in the mountain where the air is really cool and the view is just amazing. And he just stand there and he opened the bag. He grabbed the eagle, who was trembling, and he threw it in the emptiness. The eagle started falling. She was really afraid and didn't want it to open her eyes, and she was falling, and she was just praying for the best. And suddenly, she heard the cry of some fellow eagles flying around. And she opened her eyes and she saw the horizon extending in front of her. And it was just so beautiful, and she felt the air in his face. And she felt an impulse that came from the inside of herself that made her open her wings. And she started to fly. Y empezó a volar. Y empezó a volar, como solo ella sabía hacerlo. Porque ella era un águila. And as the eagle is flying there, I want to share a song about another little bird who couldn't fly. And in this case, he also received the help of a lot of fellow bird friends that were flying in the sky. Por el cielo se rumorea que una ave joven quiere sentar vuelo, que ya se siente como un abuelo, que ya no cubre toda la jornada, planea solo rozando el suelo, y una lombriz agarran sus garras, los carroñeros huelen su cuero, se le desprenden plumaje y alma. Bebe agüita del estero, las mosquitas le acompañan, revolando las bandadas que le extrañan y le cantan. A usted le queda más vuelo que a la nave de la NASA, la cascarita es su huevo, aún no está muy degradada, elévese pa' los cielos, ve el sol tras los cerros, cante y abra bien sus alas, vuelva a respirar el alba, a usted le queda más vuelo que a la nave de la NASA, la cascarita es su huevo, aún no está muy degradada, elévese pa' los cielos, ve el sol tras los cerros, cante y abra bien sus alas, vuelva a respirar el alba.
So, Raúl.
Bien, ¿y cómo están los cielos por allí? John, I see that your sky is a little bit cloudy. ¿Cómo están los cielos? How are the skies in the place that you live in today? Did you look at the sky today?
Muy bien. Despejados.
Adán, ¿cómo está el cielo ahí en Colombia hoy?
Acá hoy está bien, está despejado, sí. No está nublado, está
Cielo
abierto.
azul. And Susan, how is the sky right there where you live?
I'm in South Africa,
Okay.
and we are at the end of winter.
Mhm.
So at the moment it's quite windy, so the sky is a bit murky. It's not a bright blue.
I see. Here in Morocco, in Ouarzazate, where I live, it's really close to the desert and it almost never rains. And you always have these beautiful, beautiful deep blue skies all the time. Lots of sun. Beautiful.
It changes here after the first rain, you know, so winter here is very dry. Extremely dry, and it's as if there's so much dust in the air, and as soon as the rain comes it becomes beautiful and blue.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so the next story is about a night sky, and in this night sky lives the moon, that we all know her. But you know, the moon, la luna, estaba siempre ahí en el cielo. Y a veces ella miraba todo. She was looking everything from the top of the sky.
Moon.
And she wanted to. She always wondered how it was. How would it be to be down there in the forest? And she saw all the animals bathing in the rivers, and the people walking barefoot in the earth. And she wanted to know and to experience how it was to be there and to feel the things. You know, up in the sky there, she could only receive a faint sensation of the aroma of the flowers. But she wanted to be really close to them and to be able to watch them and to feel them. So one day, the clouds decided to help her. Un día las nubes decidieron ayudarla, entonces cubrieron todo el cielo. They covered all the sky so the moon could go down to the earth. Y ahí la luna empezó a caminar por el bosque, con los pies descalzos, sintiendo la humedad del suelo que le subía por toda la piel. She looked at all the plants in the forest, the big trees, the small bushes, and it was just amazing. And she stopped when she saw some flowers and she smelled, and she was so happy running around, and she had all night to explore. And there she was in the jungle having the greatest time when suddenly she saw a river. And so many times she had seen the animals bathe in the river, and now she could do it. So she put one foot in the water, and it was really cold, and she shivered. And then she put the other, and she kind of got used to it, and it was a really nice sensation. And she just went in and she started swimming from one place to the other and enjoying the water until it was enough. She wanted to explore some other things, so she went out of the water. And what she didn't notice there, that a jaguar which is a kind of tiger that we have in Argentina, que cuando ella lo que no vio era que había un jaguar que le estaba observando muy quieto a la distancia. She was a very tasty being for the jaguar, but she knew nothing about the dangers of the forest. Luckily, my friends, imagine what would have happened if we didn't have the moon. Luckily, there was a farmer there. And the farmer, he was hunting around and he had his bow and arrow and he saw the whole situation. So quickly, he grabbed his bow and arrow and he disparó una flecha que fue a parar justo, le pasó por al lado de la oreja al tigre y fue a parar en un árbol haciendo un ruido sordo. Y entonces el jaguar se escapó. En ese momento, when the jaguar ran away because of the noise of this arrow passing by his ear, the moon realized everything. And she looked at the man. And she said, how can I help you? How can I thank you? ¿Cómo puedo agradecerte? You have saved my life. And he looked at her and she was so beautiful. And he said, just come home with us and be our guest. My wife and I would be very happy to have you. So the moon went to the farmer house, and there the farmer wife gave her something to eat. And she realized how hungry she was because she was not used to these things of the earth, of having to eat. And she ate some tortillas, the maíz, and she spent some time with the farmers until it was time that she should go away. Because soon it would be day and she had to go back to the sky. And she did. Volvió al cielo sin que nadie la notara. Y allí las nubes se dispersaron.
Yo.
Pero a la noche siguiente, the following night, she was there in the sky and she wanted to see her friends, quería ver a sus amigos, and she noticed that there they was, but they had anything to eat. No tenían nada para comer. They had given her the last piece of food that they had. And she was so touched by this hospitality and generosity of the farmers that she decided to give them a gift. So she whispered something to the clouds, and the clouds started raining, a very special rain. It was kind of a golden rain that fall into the land right next to the farmer's house. And in no time, this amazing plant had grown. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. It's a doggy. Wait. Sorry about that. So this plant that had grown is called yerba mate. And I don't know if any of you have ever visited Argentina, but yerba mate is something that we drink every morning, every afternoon, all day long, I must say. And it's a drink that we share. And it is said that this is the origin of this plant, that it was a gift for the moon. Hola, Simona. Hi, Simona. Where are you joining from?
Hello, everybody. Now I'm in Romania.
Ah, wow. I love this. So many different parts of the world. This is just amazing. Okay, welcome. So I was telling at the beginning that I thought about sharing stories of the sky. And the following story, it's a story that comes from Bali, and it's called the Grand Pikeko. Maybe some of you know this story? David.
No sé si lo conozco.
No sabes. La lagartija gruñona de Grumpy Gecko, una historia que viene de Bali. Hace mucho tiempo, cuando el jefe de la selva, the chief of the jungle, was the tiger. And Tiger was one day sleeping very peacefully when he suddenly heard, "Gecko, gecko, gecko." Abrió un ojo, amarillo y redondo, y ahí vio a la lagartija. Gecko the lizard was there. "I'm here to complain." "Yes, Gecko," dijo Tigre. "Vine aquí para quejarme." Tiger thought, what on earth could the lizard want to complain about? She spends all day lazing around, sleeping or eating. If she's hungry, she just takes out her tongue and she grabs a mosquito. "What's the problem? What's the problem, Gecko?" he said. "It is the fireflies. Son las luciérnagas. Se pasan todo el día titilando y titilando y titilando y titilando y no me dejan dormir. They spend all day flickering and flashing and flickering and flashing and they don't let me sleep. Make them stop. This is making me so grumpy." Haz que paren, tú eres el jefe de la selva. "Okay, Gecko," said Tiger. "I will go and talk to the fireflies. Now go and sleep." And the lizard turned around and she went away refunfuneando, titilando y titilando toda la noche y no me dejan dormir. El tigre se levantó, se desperezó y empezó a caminar abajo de un cielo estrellado, hermoso. Comenzó a caminar en la oscuridad de la selva, por los arrozales, the plantations of rice in the jungle, and all the puddles of water were reflecting the stars, and as he went by, all the reflection started to undulate in the night. And it was cool, it was very quiet, and Tiger went on to find fireflies until he did. And there they were, flashing and flickering, flashing and flickering. And when they saw Tiger, they went, "Whoa, it's the chief of the jungle! Look, it's him in person, es el jefe de la selva." "Luciérnagas," dijo el tigre, "he venido a hablar con ustedes. La lagartija, Gecko, dice que se pasan toda la noche titilando, titilando y que no lo dejan dormir. Es verdad, it is true." "Well, yes, it is true that we spend all the night flashing and flickering, but we don't do this in order to upset anyone. It is because we are transmitting the message. We are retransmitting the message of the woodpecker. Estamos retransmitiendo el mensaje del pájaro carpintero." "I see," said the tiger, and he went to talk with the woodpecker. And there he was. He found it because the woodpecker was doing this horrible noise. And the tiger, it was so strong, the noise, that the tiger just put his paw in his ears and he shouted, "Come on, stop it there. I need to talk to you." And the woodpecker looked at the tiger and said, "Yes, chief, I can help you with anything." "Yes, woodpecker, I've been told that you are transmitting a message. That's why you're doing this noise. Is this true? What are you doing this horrible noise?" "Well, yes, I am transmitting a message, and I see that my service is not being appreciated at all. You see, the beetle spends all day and night rolling bits of poo in the way. And this is a complete mess. And if I don't warn all the animals not to step on the poo, this jungle would be a complete mess. You see, it's very important what I'm doing. Tiger looked at the woodpecker. El tiger lo miró y dijo, muchas gracias, pájaro carpintero, realmente es muy, muy importante el servicio que estás haciendo. Voy a hablar con el escarabajo. And off he went. It was not very difficult to find escarabajo, to find the beetle, because his back shone in the night like a silver shield. And there he was, escarabajo, rolling a little bit of poo. And he stopped when he saw the foot of the tiger, and he looked up and he said, yes. Escarabajo, me han dicho que te pasas rolando estos pedacitos de caca por todo el camino y que entonces las personas pueden pisar y que esta selva es un chiquero. ¿Es verdad? ¿Por qué haces eso? Yes, it is true. I am rolling bits of poo and I cannot stop. You see, the water buffalo, he does all his necessities in the way. And if I don't take away some, the remaining, this would be a complete mess. It's just so messy and I can't stop. I had to work all day and night. I see, said Tiger. Beetle, I am sorry. Thank you very much for your service. I will talk with Buffalo. And off he went. And Buffalo was just lying there in the, I don't know how to say in English, like a little lake of mud. And estaba en la ciénaga, el búfalo, with his hair very elegantly combed in two, and his horns like this, and he was resting there. And when he saw the chief of the jungle approach, he thought, oh. And he sees, and he went off the mud, and he looked at the tiger and he said, yes, chief, can I help you? I've been told that you are leaving all your necessities in the road, Buffalo. Is this true? Ah, I see. Yes, yes, Tiger, this is true. But you see, I do it for a reason. The rain leaves great holes in the way. And if I don't do this, if I don't put all my necessities in these holes, it's very dangerous. An animal could step on these holes and get seriously injured. You see? I see, said Tiger, who was starting to lose his patience. I think I will have to talk with Rain. And off he went to Mount Agung, where the rain lived. And in order to do this, he had to go a long way. And tenía que atravesar la parte más tupida de la selva, donde hay un montón de árboles altos que tiñen el techo de verde. Y tenía que atravesar también la montaña, donde la vegetación es más escasa y las brisas acariciaban sus bigotes haciéndolos temblar. Y el tigre siguió subiendo y siguió subiendo y siguió subiendo, hasta que la vegetación ya era casi inexistente. Todo piedras alrededor, y las piedritas pequeñas rolaban y se iban para abajo. Y el tigre siguió subiendo hasta la cima, to the top of Mount Agung, and he put one paw and the other one, and he se estiró con fuerza y se sentó y observó alrededor. Estaba amaneciendo, the sun was going up. It was just so beautiful what he saw. The horizon in front of him and the sky full of colors. He could see all the rice, the plantations of rice, las plantaciones de arroz con sus escalinatas, y parecía como si alguien hubiese tirado un polvito dorado y lo hubiese esparcido por todo el lugar. Se podía ver también las grandes extensiones de selva, con las flores de todos los colores, y hasta le podía llegar el aroma del jazmín. Pero what called the attention of Tiger the most was the sound of water right beside him. Water, rivers of water made by rain that went down the mountain and extended all through the land until the sea, giving life to every single thing, from the most little mosquito to the bigger animal like the buffalo, all the plants. And Tiger went to the water and he wet his paws and he drank some fresh water and he started to go down very little by little until finally he arrived. And it was starting to get dark again when he met Lizard again. Y dijo Lizard, ¿hablaste con las luciérnagas? ¿Le has dicho que paren? Por ahora no han parado. Come, Lizard, come, sit down and listen carefully to what I'm going to say. Ok. Las luciérnagas titilan para retransmitir el mensaje del pájaro carpintero. El pájaro carpintero de Woodpecker transmite el mensaje para que ningún animal pise en el camino los restos de caca que deja el escarabajo. El escarabajo rueda la caca por el camino para sacar los excesos que deja Búfalo. Búfalo rellena los agujeros de la lluvia para que ningún animal se tropiece y caiga y nadie se lastime. Ah, dijo la lagartija. So, yes. So if rain stops raining, yes, then Buffalo can stop leaving all his necessities in the road, yes. And the beetle could stop rolling the poo, yes. And the woodpecker would stop transmitting the message and the fireflies will stop flickering. Yes, said Tiger. But, said Lizard, I wouldn't have anything to eat. Exactly. You see, it is thanks to the rain that you get all these pools of water where mosquitoes live. You see, Gecko, everything is connected in life. So, come on, go, rest in peace, leave the fireflies alone. And Gecko turned around and he went to una ramita de árbol, se colgó con la cabeza para abajo y allí se quedó durmiendo. En cuanto a Tiger, Tiger went to his favorite clearing in the forest and he went to sleep peaceful and tranquil. Bueno, muy bien, amigos. What a delight to share all these stories with you. And to finish, I would like to share a little story, a hoopoe story, that it's also about a rainy sky. So, once upon a time, Adan, you know this well, okay? So I will go in English. Once upon a time, once upon a time, there was an old man, an old woman living in a very small village, and they didn't have any children. And they felt so sorry, and they felt so bad about this because they had no one that would take care of them in the future. They prayed every day. They went to this special place in the mountain and they would pray for our children and they would pray for our children. And everyone in town knew of their longing, and they all wanted them to have a children, but life, you know. So one day, the old couple had just finished praying when they suddenly heard the crying of a baby. No. It seemed to come from one place or from the other, and they were very confused, and they said, okay, you go this way, I go this way. And when they came back, each one of them had a baby in the arms. Finally, they said, finally we have a baby, but we can keep them. Aren't they from someone? Okay, we should go and talk with the chief. And they did. They talked with the chief, and the chief said, okay, you wait 4 days. If no one claims the babies, then you can keep them. And that they did. And they took care of the babies for 4 days and 4 nights. And in the 4th day, nobody had come. So they made this huge celebration. And they kept the babies. And they were so happy, and they were teaching them all kinds of things, but they soon discovered that they were not regular babies. They were so intelligent and learning so fast all the things of the house and all the things of the forest, and how to work in clay, and how to do baskets, and how to help the old couple in all the labors. And suddenly they realized that they had anything more to teach them. So they decided to send the 2 boys, the 2 twins, because this was what they were, to a special school, a magical school. And they went there, and they stayed for 4 days and 4 nights. And when they came back, they had become magical clowns. Yes, they came dressed all in black and white with these kind of funny hats made of corn. And they came into town, and all the children gathered around, and they just started playing around, juggling and doing jokes. And all the children started laughing, and they were laughing so much. And all the town was together, and they were having such a great time with these fabulous clowns that were now part of the town. But in this town, there also lived a sorcerer. Yes, and he was not happy. Not happy. He hated children laughing. It was the thing he hated the most. So he went there, all dressed in black, and he went to the twins, and he said, "Stop this!" And they were just laughing at the sorcerer, and the children were laughing, and the sorcerer got so angry that he said, we will make a duel in 4 days, and the one who wins stays, and the one who loses should live or die. There was a complete silence there. The twins looked at each other, and they said, "Okay, we accept." And they went to prepare themselves. For 4 days and 4 nights away, they went into the forest, and they were doing, well, we don't know, doing all kinds of things there in the forest without being seen or disturbed by anyone. And the day of the duel came, and there was the sorcerer and the twins in the square of the town, and all people had gathered around to see what was going to happen. The twins looked at the sorcerer, and they said, "You go first." "Okay," said the man. And he grabbed a jar of water, and he walked very elegantly, and he put it upside down in the earth. Suddenly, a river started to grow. And as the river started to go through, all kinds of plants started to grow. Fruit trees, lemon, oranges, bananas. And all the kids were so amazed and they ran to these trees and they tried to grab it. But when they grabbed the fruits, they disappeared. The twins looked at the sorcerer and they clapped and they said, very, very nice and fine trick. It's a pity that your magic doesn't last. It's our turn. Yes, yes, brother. Okay, you grab the ashes and I make the cloud. Okay, so one of them, he grabbed some ashes from that they had brought and he put there and he blew the ashes. But the ashes just fall in the face of them and they started coughing. And all the kids were laughing. And again, no worries again. And the other one grabbed the ashes and he blew them. And again, all the ashes fall down in the face. And all the kids were laughing. But, you know, some people were starting to get worried. What would happen if they lose? Okay, little brother, said one of them, this is not working. We would need the help of the people. Yeah, yes, little brother, we would indeed. Okay, let's see. Does any one of you remember, one of them said, a really cloudy and rainy sky? How is it? And all the kids and all the people of the town started to describe how it was. As Susan, you were telling me before, it was really murky and all the clouds, they start to be really gray and they all started to think together, you know. Yes, and sometimes first you got some very little and soft rain until it starts to get heavier and heavier, you know. Yes, it starts heavy and suddenly you get maybe a thunder. And have you seen when rain starts just falling like crazy? Oh, it's so beautiful, yes. And as all people were talking, one of the clowns, one of the twins, grabbed the ashes and he flew. And a cloud formed in the sky. And suddenly, in no time, rain started to pour. And the rain started to be heavier and heavier. And all the people ran to their houses. And the following day, when they came back to the square, they saw that the sorcerer, after this heavy rain that had gone all night, the sorcerer had been reached by a thunder, by lightning. And in the earth, they could discover all kinds of very tiny brotes de plantitas, some little plants that started to grow. And with time, they took care and they ended up having their real fruit trees and all kinds of plants. And they say that from this day onwards, the twins became the chiefs of the town. And these are the wise clowns, chiefs of this town. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here and listening. It was very nice sharing with you. David, so nice to see you again. It had been a long time.
Yes, cuánto tiempo. It's been a long time.
Mucho tiempo.
Yes, it's really nice that you're here.
Can you all shout hello, Morocco? Right, I'm going to interrupt here. Because I have to finish telling a story myself, but I also have to outro the show, and I have to thank Catalina for a magnificent show. I was looking down. I was listening with one ear to you. I was listening the other ear to Justine on my left here. And yeah, and we have this magnificent audience. We're in this fantastic field in Suffolk.
Wow.
And but I have to tell you, because I've got to go on with this story, so I better tell you what's coming up. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time, there are Asian and Australasian tellers. Join us then. On 6 o'clock, there's a fundraiser for our festival. By the way, we've got a storytelling festival in Morocco in February. Anyone who wants to come to Morocco for a storytelling festival, February the 8th to 20th, we're going to fill the Medina up with stories. So tomorrow there is a fundraiser for the festival. It's called on the site, 6 o'clock in the evening, Rock the Casbah. That's Sunday, Rock the Casbah. On Tuesday, of course, we have our regular 18 and under storytellers from around the world, Gaza, India, all over. And on Friday, because she's here in the audience, if I forget her, she'll never speak to me again, and she'll send me a slap all the way from South Africa, where she's sitting at this moment. We have the fantastic Susan McQuarrie. So anyway, goodbye everyone. I must get on because these people have been very patient. Right. So thank you. I'm leaving. Thank you ever so much, Catalina. I shall listen to it properly on catch up. If anyone wants to listen to what I'm talking about on catch up on recent performances, worldstorytellingcafe.com, and you will hear the magnificent Catalina telling stories. And she's from Argentina, and she's telling stories in Morocco at this moment. Right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye. Bye. Right. I better leave and get on with my work. Right. Leave. Right.
Right. You are now longer live. Now no longer live.
Okay. Now.
Back at Target.
Bye, Catalina.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Lovely to see you. And I'm glad to know that you made it to Morocco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last time I spoke to you, you were trying to get to Morocco, and you got there.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I'll give you the story.
Thank you, Catalina. That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan, Mona, Mike. It was so lovely to meet you.
Okay.
Bye.
See you.
Lindo verte, amigo.
Bye-bye.
Really, really
In
lovely
7
example of
days,
storytelling
you can get a
between two
good full of
languages.
bees.
So that was really, really
Yes.
exciting.
Yes.
Yes, that was fantastic.
But
That
let's
was
see what happens.
wonderful.
It's changed lots. It goes.
Great. See you. Bye.
Yeah, so-
Bye.
And actually,
Ciao.
he's going down the road.
Adan Cantillo and Colombia.
Adan is also a great
I don't know what to
storyteller.
do. I don't know what to
I see.
do. Oh, dearie me, I don't know what to.
Okay, adios, David. Thank you.
Adios. Adios.
Oh, the storyteller, not the singer. But and Nancy's was worse. And up the top of the tallest tree was Queen Bee, and she shouted, "What's all that noise down there?" And Nancy shouted up, "It's only me, Queenie. Got a bit of a problem." "I can hear that. Come up here and tell me about it." "No, you got wings. You fly down here." She flew down. What noise bees make when they fly? So if I was just here and say, "Oh, I'll be there," yet we're not going through all that because it takes ages, right? And so we got there, and she said, "Tell us the problem." She said, "I told a tiger I would find how many bees would fit in this pot." Queen Bee says that's easy. You just take one of us and you measure how long we are and how wide we are and how fat we are, and you times the whole lot together, and that will tell you how big we are. And you do the same thing with the pot and with the good, and you take the first complicated sum and see how many times it goes to the second complicated sum, and that tells you how many big. Did you get that? Yeah, of course you would. You're clever.
The mathematician.
But us mortals, yeah. Nad said, "Look, I couldn't do sums when I was at school, and I couldn't do sums now. Get all your friends to fly into the pot one at a time. We'll count them." And she called the bees. Right, one of those bees, mate. And as they got nearer, they got louder. I went over there buzzing from the back there. Yeah, he's good. He's good with a New York hat. With his hat backwards, he's not bad either. I'm not sure about his mate next to him. He's trying to bait. Right. And waiting and buzzing at the same time. You'll choke, mate, I'll tell you. Anyway, so, anyway. All right, keep your wings on. Got a bit of a problem. Can you fly in one at a time? And we'll count you. So start flying in. You're going to help me count. There's more than 3 people that are numerate here. Right. 3,
4, 5, 6, 7.
Hold it. 70.
1,
70,
2,
70,
3,
70,
4,
70,
5,
70,
6,
70.
7.
Hold it. 770, 770,
2,
770,
3,
770,
4,
770,
5,
770,
6,
770.
7.
Hold it. 7,770.
1.
And the last peak was in the pot. And the good. Stop was put on it. Rolled for tiger's feet. He thought, I never expected